This one is the first one that I like.
Honestly, Grandma, I'm sick
There
of
you go.
her. She treats me like a child all the time.
Well, she treats me like a child too, and I'm 76. I wouldn't take it personally.
She hates everything about me, my boyfriend, my clothes, my music, everything I say or do.
Your mom
I
loves you,
understand
Lila.
that, yeah.
She's just got a funny way of showing it sometimes.
She's crazy, admit it.
I admit
Sometimes,
it.
yeah.
But moms are always like that.
Bet you were like that, Grandma.
Oh,
I probably
nah.
was, but it was just a silly phase. Now tell me what the problem is, sweetheart.
Well, you know I'm gonna be a drummer in a band when I'm done with school, right?
Yes, sweetheart.
Well, Mom keeps going on and on about how I need to think about my career. She suddenly wants me to be a lawyer.
A
A
lawyer?
lawyer? Me? She's crazy.
Why do you not think you can be a lawyer?
Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm going to give you help and feedback. And that
Okay.
was Lila and her grandma. Lila is 16. She's studying for her
like those spots.
PSATs. Soon she will need to decide what to do next. In a moment, you're going to decide what grandma should say and do as she helps Lila think about her career. If
Alright.
you ever get stuck or need some help making a decision, just click the question mark. Click next to continue. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mom keeps going on and on about how I need to think about my career. She suddenly wants me to be a lawyer. A lawyer? Me? She's crazy.
It's up to you to decide
you
what
can
happens
try,
next.
at least
Click
try
each
to see if
option
you
to
can be
read
one.
it. Click watch to see it. And when you've decided, click choose. Sometimes the text of all the options will be the same. That's
Okay.
when you'll need to watch the body language closely by clicking watch. If you get stuck, click the question mark and click next or close to start. Good luck.
I like this kind of thing because it reminds me of a game where you have to make multiple choice questions, but you can actually see the scenario and it's like, yeah, you'll see how it will end up. All right, let's go. This is for school, but this is also something I'd like to try. Okay, be realistic, Lila. What are the chances of you making it as a drummer? Sometimes your mom can be a piece of work. Sometimes just ignore her and follow your heart, Lila. Remind me why you want to be a drummer again. These two kind of are more judgmental on both sides, so I need a center ground, which would be this one.
Remind me why you want to be a drummer again.
It's all about the music, Grandma. And I love meeting people and traveling. And I might get to meet celebs and really cool people.
I mean, yeah, that can be true that you might find cool people during traveling, but I don't know. Wait. Sounds great. Jet setting around the world, meeting people, playing the music I love. What's not to like? How glamorous. Do you think all musicians get to get all those fun things? Because not all musicians get to do this. Yeah, let's try this one, the second one.
How glamorous. Do you think all musicians get to do all those fun things?
No, of course not. I'm not crazy.
Okay.
But even if my band just plays at weddings and parties and stuff, that would be fine.
Mhm.
I love to party. Remember Chris's wedding last summer? That was dope.
Um. Okay. The wedding was wonderful, but will it be the same when you're there for work other than enjoying yourself? Yeah.
Oh, yes, the wedding was wonderful.
Because you have
But
to
will it
ask
be
all
the
these
same when you're
questions.
there to work rather than enjoy yourself?
What do you mean?
You can't can't enjoy yourself if you're the one playing. I mean, it would be fun if you're playing, like for them, but yeah, it's not the same. Not the same feeling. What if they asked you to play music you don't like? What? Okay. Other weddings would not because your cousin she was playing since she was 8. Think about the things that you enjoy at Chris's wedding. Will you be able to do those things while working? Yeah, this one.
Well, think about the things that you enjoyed at Krista's wedding. Seeing your friends and family, having fun dancing. Will you be able to do those things if you're working?
I see what you mean.
Well, at least Lila's understanding. Okay. And you said you like the party. Well, if you're in the wedding and party band, you might be working with when all your friends are going to parties. If you think about it, being a musician isn't such a great career. No, I'm not gonna demean it. No, no. I wonder if she'd look more into it. Yeah, this one.
And you know you said you like to party. Well, if you're in a wedding and party band, you might be working when all your friends are going to other parties. I wonder if you should look into it a bit more.
There you
I'm
go.
not scared of hard work, Grandma. And anyway, when I do have free time to go out, I'll be able to have a really good time because I'll be loaded.
Wait, hang on. I am back. Sorry for the wait. Let's continue. All right. Let's see. It's not all about the money, sweetheart. And anyway, did you see the van that the band that had at Chris's wedding showed up in? I'm not sure they look loaded. Well, I don't think musicians earn that much. Did you see the band they showed up in? I don't think that thing has seen a splatter paint.
It's not all about money, sweetheart. And anyway, I don't think most musicians earn that much. It's not all about money, sweet.
I think the
It's not
second
all
one,
about
'cause
money,
both describe the
sweetheart.
band.
And anyway, I don't think most musicians earn that much.
How do you know?
Okay, well, she's listening. How much do you think musicians earn?
How much do you think you'll earn being a musician?
All right, Grandma, I get it. Being a musician's a stupid job and I should just forget it.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just suggesting it might be good to look into it some more.
Yeah.
Look into it some more? How?
You can ask somebody who learned from it. Why not ask the band from the wedding? Find out what's like as a career. Yeah, there.
Why not talk to the band from the wedding? Find out what it's like as a career.
Actually, that's
Yeah.
not a bad idea. Julie's cousin's a guitarist. I could ask her too. Thank you, Grandma. You're so smart. And you actually listen. Not like Mom going on about me being a lawyer all the time.
Why do you think she wants you to be a lawyer? Yeah, there you go. It's literally right there. There you go.
Why do you think she wants you to be a lawyer?
Probably because she's boring and she just wants me to be boring too.
I don't think lawyers are boring. Well, definitely not like they're gonna be like from Phoenix, right? But I don't think they're like boring. What makes you think law is
What
boring?
makes you think that law's boring?
It's not boring for everyone, obviously. Being some fancy, high powered lawyer might be really interesting. But knowing my luck, I just end up getting people out of parking tickets and stuff.
It's still something. I don't know. I see what you mean. You're probably not smart enough to be a lawyer. Hey, no. Don't do that. Don't. That's making her seem like she's not good. Okay. I think you could be a high-powered lawyer if you set your mindset, yeah?
I think you could be a high-powered lawyer if you set your mind to it.
You really think so, Grandma?
Yep. No. Okay. Yes, you can be anything you want to be, Lila. You just want it bad enough. There's nothing that will stand in your way, not with some hard work and determination. This one.
Lila, there's nothing standing in your way.
More encouragement.
Not with some hard work and determination.
So you think Mom's right? You think I should be a lawyer?
That's not what I'm saying.
Then what are you saying, Grandma?
Do you know when I got into art college, I decided not to go?
Okay, we're going off
No.
script, so let's go.
But art was your life. Why did you...
Because I decided I wasn't cut out to be an artist.
What?
But you're a wonderful artist, Grandma.
I know that. I kicked butt in acrylics, and I had a wonderful time at art college.
I don't understand. You just said that you decided not to go.
You see, all my friends were going to the local college. They
Okay.
were looking forward to new adventures together, and I was thinking about being on my own in this strange environment. I decided art wasn't for me.
So what
happened?
happened?
Luckily, my art teacher talked some sense into me. She helped me realize what was really influencing me. It wasn't because I didn't want to be an artist, it was because I didn't want to lose my friends.
I
And?
understand that. Yeah.
And when I realized that, I also realized I was being silly. I knew I'd be able to make new friends and stay in touch with the old. And I knew that going to art college was what I really wanted. So I went and had the time of my life.
Oh, wow.
I understand that.
But
yeah.
what does that mean
'Cause
for
I
me,
went from
Grandma?
accountancy to multimedia arts. Yeah. What it means is I see a lot of me in you, and I think you should think about going to art college. No, no, that's not right. What it means is that I did art and still saw my old friends. I think you could stick to drumming and still see your friends the other times. What it means is that it's good to know what is influencing you and why. My decision was overly influenced by my fear of losing my friends. What's influencing your thinking? This one?
Well, what it means is it's good to know what is influencing you and why. My decision was overly influenced by my fear of losing my friends. What's influencing your thinking?
Damn, I guess.
Well,
that's-
Mom,
that's why I wanted to
obviously.
talk to her that
She
time.
goes on and on about. Oh,
Oh.
hang on.
Yeah,
I get
there you
it.
go.
You were saying I'm rejecting lawyering just because Mom wants me to do it.
Yep.
It's possible. If you give it some thought, look into it, and then decide it's not for you, then that's fine. But just rejecting law because it's your mom's idea is maybe a little childish.
Well, being a lawyer does sound fun in a way, but so does being a drummer.
Did I ever tell you about Laurent?
Who's Laurent?
Oh, he was so dreamy. He had those big blue eyes you wanted to swim around in.
Juicy story?
All the girls fell in love with him, but
Oh.
I was the one he asked out on a date.
Wow.
Problem was, I had a prior engagement with a boy from photography class.
Ooh, a love triangle.
Now, the photographer was awkward and geeky and did this funny thing when he blinked.
So you dumped him.
No.
No,
of
that
course I
would have
didn't.
been impolite. I went out with both of them
Excuse what?
Oh.
on the same night.
Oh.
Oh.
Damn.
Lauren took me to this swanky restaurant with napkins in the shape of exotic birds.
Ooh, classy.
They were just napkins, folded funny, sweetheart. The
Yeah.
portions were tiny. It was all far too fancy. And in reality, Dreamy Laurent was a bit of a nightmare. I thought because he sounded interesting and he looked interesting, he'd, well, be interesting. But he
Yeah, okay.
wasn't. He was boring and he kept stealing my food. It was good I had another meal coming.
With the photographer.
Yep.
With the photographer. It was the best food I'd eaten in months. Nothing
Oh.
fancy, just good, honest eats. And good conversation. He was interesting and
I like this.
smart. And after a while, I didn't notice the blinking. He was just the ticket.
Grandma,
Yes, dear.
was the photographer my grandpa?
No, sweetheart. Your grandpa was 6 or 7 boyfriends later.
Jeez.
The point is, appearances can be deceiving.
Damn, Grandma.
Yes, they can.
Oh, you're getting old, though, guys.
Why are you telling me all this, Grandma?
Okay. I was getting into the story. Damn, I like this. Okay. I think that boy you're dating might be something of a Laurent. What? She didn't say she was dating anyone. Okay, never mind. All I'm saying is that careers. It's the same with careers. Appearances can be deceiving, but just because it's great. It looks fun. Yeah, it probably is. And nah. Okay, this one, the second one.
I'm saying it's the same with careers. Appearances can be deceiving. Just because a job looks great doesn't mean it is great or right for you. You need to try things out, find out what it's really like.
Okay, that's great and all.
Yeah.
But I still need to make a final choice, Grandma. I need to decide what I'm gonna do with my life.
Right. Don't need to decide what you don't need to decide what you're going to do. Often having a career is about making little decisions. Okay. Yeah, the first one.
No, you don't need to decide what you're going to do with your life. Often having a career is about making lots of little decisions. Right now, you just
Yes,
need to decide what you're going to do next.
So I don't need to think about the future.
You can't. you have to think about it, but it's more like you don't. It doesn't have to be exactly as that. It's like giving you a motivation to try to get there. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You need to think about your future, what you want, what you don't want, but don't decide everything already.
You
Yeah.
need to think about your future a lot. What you want, what you don't want, but you don't need to decide everything now.
Oh, Grandma, this is so confusing. Why can't it be easy?
Life
Did I
is-
ever tell you about my beach house?
Grandma Lore.
You never had a beach house.
I didn't hear, sweetheart. I didn't hear. When your grandfather and I were dating, he was just back from the war. And I was painting this gorgeous villa overlooking the ocean. When I proposed to him, I promised that within 5 years we'd be living somewhere just like the painting. I'd be selling my artwork and he'd be pickling herrings, curing hams, messing around on boats. It was going to be so romantic.
What happened?
So one wants to
Well,
be an
your
artist, the
grandpa
other
got
one
a job making
wanted
toilet
to-
disinfectant in
I
Cleveland.
want to be a sailor,
that
a
sucks.
fisherman.
No.
No?
It was the best thing that could have happened. You see, he was learning all about pickling and ham curing in his garage and accidentally got it all mixed up. He created this concoction that tasted just awful. I said, there's only one thing that this is good for, and he took me literally. Turns out it had remarkable disinfectant capabilities and removed odors in an instant.
Wow.
6 months later, he had this high paid job, and we were living in a wonderful house by a lake with a beautiful little boat. And I was designing cornflake packets for the advertising agency.
Wow.
We were as happy as clams. You're not going to ask me what this story means, are you? Honestly, for a smart little girl, you are a little clueless sometimes.
That was
Sorry,
judgmental
Grandma.
there, but yeah.
So, what does this story mean?
Okay. Yeah, let me just read up. There you go. And we have a dream about living in the beach house. Okay. That's okay. If we only stuck to our plan, if we hadn't been so distracted. Okay, so this one kind of seems like it's more like they made it seem like having distractions is not a good thing. So no, not that one. For this one, yeah, if they're saying that sticking to a plan could have made them have different things, but no, it's really this one right here. Yeah, dreams are important, but they're being open to opportunities. Be open to them, yeah.
If we hadn't dreamed of living in a beach house, your grandfather would never have been pickling herring. So he wouldn't have created his invention. And if I hadn't studied art, I wouldn't have gotten the job at the agency. Plans and dreams are important, but so is being open to opportunities that come your way.
I see it.
Aha.
Yeah.
I see. Make plans, but keep an open mind. Makes a lot of sense.
Or as your grandfather used to say, don't drift, but don't drop anchor.
Good old Grandpa. He was so wise.
You wouldn't say that if you'd ever been on a boat with him.
Nice.
Good job.
Oh wow,
Here's an
that was the
overview
whole
of how
thing.
you just did. Click next to get more detailed feedback.
Sure thing.
I'm going to give you feedback on
Ooh,
each
8
decision you just
That's
made.
19 parts.
You can see what happened and what you chose by clicking the replay buttons. You can also see the options you rejected. Click the feedback panel to see what I think. Click
Okay.
next to continue.
For this one, I'm just gonna see the ones that I chose and see what I did wrong. Yep.
Good choice. Grandma prompted Lila to understand her dream. What makes her want to be a drummer? Will the reality be as good as she imagines? Maybe click on what makes you tick in the reference zone for some more ideas.
All right.
Good job. Grandma was right to talk about what Lila expects from life as a musician.
Yeah, because it already says here that work isn't always fun. Next.
Excellent. Grandma encouraged Lila to think about the difference between going to a wedding as a guest and as part of your job.
Next.
Great job. Grandma made Lila think about the realities of working at a wedding. Great job. Grandma made a good point about Lila's social life and encouraged her to look into the realities of being a musician.
All right. Yeah.
Grandma made an assumption and didn't give any evidence to back it up.
Okay. So what was the? Yeah. Okay. I guess I did a wrong assumption there. How much do you think?
Good
Yeah.
recovery.
There you
This
go.
time, Grandma concentrated on Lila's assumptions and didn't make any herself.
Yep. There you go. Something.
Nicely done. Grandma suggested that Lila should find out more about the job.
Yep.
Maybe click on Aim High, Stay Grounded in the reference zone for some more ideas.
Next.
Excellent. Talking to someone with experience was a good idea.
Yep.
Maybe click on Learning from Others in the reference zone for some more ideas.
Yeah, at the time it made sense because basically learning it from someone who already has experience means that maybe you can learn how it is in their own way. Next. Why do you think she wants to be
Good
lawyer?
choice. Grandma encouraged Lila to think more about a career in law without focusing on her relationship with her mom.
All right.
Good job. Grandma's question kept the conversation on track. Good job. Grandma encouraged Lila to aim high.
Yep, that's good.
Great choice. Grandma told Lila that if she worked hard, she could achieve what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Grandma told Lila the point of her story and got her thinking about what was influencing her.
And she learned that was her mom saying that she should be a lawyer. Yep.
Great choice. Grandma related the story well to Lila's situation and encouraged her to keep an open mind. Maybe click on Getting Out There in the reference zone for some more ideas.
Yep. Don't decide
Good
really.
job.
Yeah.
Grandma advised Lila to take it one step at a time. She doesn't need to make a final career choice at the age of 16.
Ah.
There are lots of ways of keeping her options open without drifting. Maybe click on An Open Mind in the reference zone for some more ideas.
Keep your options open. All right.
Great job. Grandma advised Lila to think about what she wants, but that she doesn't need to make any big life choices right away.
Mm-hmm. The beach house. Yeah.
Good choice. Grandma said it was important to have dreams, but also to respond to practical opportunities.
Yep. You never know what will happen.
Great.
Yes.
Life and having a career are about making lots of decisions, some little, some big. With your help, Lila's much less likely to regret her decisions. Click next to give us some feedback on this module.
Of course. This is a good one. Yeah, again, I like these kind of things. So this is actually really effective to me. Yep, and that's it. Yeah, I'm just gonna post at least one because I don't want to get in trouble in case any of my teachers end up seeing me make this video and end up showing the answers. But yeah, this is only the first one, the whole Lila's predicament thing, dilemma thing. So yeah, so it was really good. I like the grandma stories and how they relate to what is happening. I also like the lore that I got there. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Bye.